Feel better?
It's in there. I can't get it out. All right, Paul. You can definitely do the intro this time. I did it really well last time. I don't know if you remember, but...
Oh, then why wouldn't you want to do it again? You see this? Blue jeans. Oh. When do you ever see me in blue jeans?
You know, now that you mention it...
Never.
Did you get those jeans at Kohl's?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Did you get that shirt at Kohl's? No, that's Stitch Fix.
No, this is Old Navy.
Oh, Old Navy.
Yeah.
Kohl's and Old Navy, dude.
I know, I hate the places I shop, but it's the only place I can afford.
Oh, yeah, I shop at Old Navy and Target.
But whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm. How many articles of clothing did you get at Kohl's?
I got 2 pairs of pants, 2 jackets, a shacket,
which is
a shirt jacket.
Oh, okay.
Can be worn either way.
Oh, okay.
It's a shirt that has pockets.
Is it a flannel?
No, it's buttoned up.
Oh, okay.
And then I got a flannel shirt.
Oh, okay.
I think that's it. And some underwear
Nice.
that I don't like.
Why?
Just
Is
not
it too
doing it.
loose?
No.
Too snug?
No.
Why don't you like it?
Well, I just don't like it. It doesn't hit me in the right spots.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're a boxer brief guy, obviously.
Yeah.
So you like to feel supported.
I need something that can lift my junk and cover my thighs.
Oh.
That's what it is. And so, like, the briefs don't do that, obviously. I wear those for show. And then...
Briefs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, like, boxer briefs.
Yeah.
But, like, I can't get the, like, boy short little tiny ones. I have to get the longer ones. But I still get the tiny ones and just wear them
Well, I would
anyway.
imagine the tiny ones would, like, bunch up.
Yeah, they do bunch up.
Yeah, because I have a pair of boy shorts.
But, you know, when you're... You know, like...
Yeah. I try to look cute in these boy shorts that they just ride up. I'm like, this isn't working.
Yeah, I have to pull them down before I take my pants off. You know, gotta tell them to turn around.
Turn around.
Turn around real quick. Okay, turn around. Whew. Especially if I'm walking on the treadmill.
Riding up.
Oh yeah, dude. By the end, just a fucking like rolling Play-Doh between your hands. And I just eat holes in them too.
Oh yeah, dude.
My thighs are taking bites out of my underwear.
My jeans, you know, they only last so long.
Oh yeah.
With the chub rub.
Yeah.
Just holes in holes in the thighs.
Just bottom that way.
Hey. Oh man, by the end of this episode, I will be covered in a just sheen of sweat.
Because the book's so hot.
No, because it's so hot. Well, and because I'm wearing.
Yeah, I mean, you're dressed for winter and it's spring.
I wanted to be comfy. I never wear comfy clothes on this thing. I always wear, like, jeans.
Oh, you don't?
I always wear jeans, Paul. Jeans.
Oh, like these blue jeans I'm wearing.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Welcome back to another episode of Hand Smut. I'm Paul.
I'm Angela.
And this is Hand Smut.
We're going to get into it.
We're going to get
today.
into it. How's it going?
I read this 100-page best friend's dad smut story.
100%.
But it was gay.
Okay, 100%.
So he was 23 and the dad was like 45.
Perfect.
And by the end of it, they're like in love with each other.
Yeah.
And
that's his stepdad now.
The 23-year-old is like fucking the dad. He's the top.
Yeah.
He was a swimmer too.
Oh, okay. Just like my guess.
The 23-year-old was fucking the dad. Had him bent over the dining room table. They were making pancakes with coconut oil, so they used the coconut oil.
Yeah, as lube.
And
who has it?
The dad's bent over and he's like, "Oh yeah, baby, fuck me harder, just like that." And he's like, "Yeah, daddy, you can take it." And the son was standing there and saw the whole thing.
Cucked.
Saw his dad.
And that's the end of the book?
His best friend. No, at the end, and then the son's like, "Oh my god," and then runs away. And then they're like on the stairs, like the son's sitting on the stairs, the dad's in front of the door, the friend's over here, and they're like, "Well, should we talk about this?" And the son's best friend is like, "I'm in love with you," blah 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 blah. And the dad like looks at the 23-year-old and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm in love with you too." And then they start making out with each other while the son is on.
Dude, that son's fucked.
And then they end up together, and then in the epilogue, it's like 2 years later, the son is like talking about how he's gonna propose to his girlfriend, and his best friend, who's now like his stepdad.
Yeah, his stepdad friend.
Is like, "Oh well, you can't do this because that's how I'm gonna propose to your dad." Blah 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 blah. And so, yeah, it was like, I read it in like 40 minutes. It was like,
this was just like a pre-smut smut.
It was hilarious.
If that smut was the porn I watch, the dad would be the kid's stepdad, and they'd all have a threesome.
Okay, say that again.
If that smut went how the porns I watch go,
sure, that's not the problem I had. That's not the part of
the
this.
son would be a stepson to that guy, and the best friend, the dad, and then the stepson would all get it on.
Yeah,
and I love that.
Same, dude.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, so I thought I'd tell you about that.
Yeah. How was NOLA?
It was very fun. It was fucking freezing.
It was cold?
It was They had like a freak weather phenomenon, and it was like freezing.
Did you dress
But it was
for
absolutely
that?
beautiful. I only wear
What you're wearing
long
right
sleeves.
now.
I literally wear this hoodie like every day, I think. Oh, do you want to? Oh, damn! I don't have my phone.
I did hear that it was a surprise trip.
I mean, yeah. What do you mean?
That you surprised Sam.
Oh, yeah.
That Sam didn't know you were coming on the trip.
Did I not tell you that?
No.
Oh yeah. Sam didn't know that I was going, so we like coordinated it and then surprised
Sam.
Okay. What? Why is that
That's
weird?
weird.
We were just like, what if we... Well, Sam was out of town when me and Christine were planning it, and I was like, what if we just don't tell Sam that I'm going, and then I just show up there? And she's like, oh my god, he'll love it. And he did. He was very surprised, and he hugged me, and he loved it.
That's cool.
Thanks.
It's just cool that you could surprise your best friend's husband by showing up on their couple's trip.
It wasn't a couple's trip. I was invited. I did not invite myself.
It was a surprise. Adjoining rooms are...
I couldn't afford the hotel they were staying in. Are you kidding me?
They didn't even put you up?
No.
When I get flown out for threesomes, they put me up. I'm glad you had a great time.
Thank you, Paul.
You're
I'm
welcome.
sure you are.
I am. Thrilled.
I'm sure you're so happy for me.
I'm so happy for you.
So what's up with you?
I'm doing great. But yeah, no, I'm just, unemployed.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Woo!
Great. Send my
Yeah.
resume out a little bit. Nothing back from anyone, so...
Dude, honestly, let's just go away.
What are we gonna live off the grid?
Let's just go to the Netherlands.
I can't yet. We can't just go to the Netherlands.
Okay, but I'm just letting you know I'm in.
I'm sure that's fine. That's great. We can go to the Netherlands, but I don't have any money to get to the Netherlands.
Take you there, dude.
Then I'm just gonna live on the streets.
Living
I'm about
on
to
the
be living on the
streets in
streets
Netherlands
here.
would probably be
I bet
better
it's
than...
cold. Well, I bet it's better than here, but I bet it's still cold.
Well, I wouldn't want to do it in the winter.
Yeah, and the winter does come.
Yeah.
I don't do it in the summer.
I don't think they allow homeless people in
Exactly.
the Netherlands.
They'll deport
Exactly.
me back to here.
Exactly.
Shut up. You're just mad because I made fun of you about Sam and Christine. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I told you there's something stuck in
You
there.
sound panicked.
Well, I mean,
So yeah, that's my deal.
that you're unemployed.
Yeah, that I'm unemployed. I mean, I'm still whatever. I'm working on my side project thing, and that's keeping me busy.
You'll find a
But
job.
not that busy. And then yeah, just looking for another job.
God, working sucks.
Yeah, working sucks.
I hate that I have to have a job.
Yeah, I just wish I had a job I wanted to do.
Same. I fucking relate to
Yeah,
that.
I just keep getting laid off from those jobs. I'm making desserts out of vegetables.
Oh my god, that
That's-
zucchini pie just
Yeah,
then.
I made an apple pie, but it was zucchini. You'd never know it.
You would never know it.
You'd never know
And
it.
I mean that for real. It was fucking delicious.
And I mean, the sweet potato brownies are incredible.
Which is crazy to me because, you know what? Actually, have you heard of people making avocado brownies?
No, but that sounds right.
I have had them and they're foul.
Oh, really?
I thought it was foul.
I guess I could see that. It makes sense because the sweet potato, when you bake a sweet potato,
It's sweet and delicious.
It's sweet and delicious. So
I'm
it's
excited to
you
try
throw chocolate in that. It's okay.
Right. I'm excited
And
to
it's
try
like
it.
I've seen that recipe around forever. And then there's this like hot ginger dude that lost a shit ton of weight that I follow on Instagram. And he always posted that's like his like one of his like meal prep things. Is He always
Really?
makes these.
Huh. I'm excited.
I'm telling you, vegetables for dessert
Dude.
is my new thing.
Yep. I'm loving that.
Yeah.
Let's see
Obsessively
how
walking on my treadmill
weird you can get.
because I don't have a job. So all I have to do is hit 10,000 steps a day
There you go.
and
Bake
make
with
vegetables. Yeah.
I like it.
and then just scream into the void.
Yeah. Sorry you feel so bad.
I don't feel that bad. Honestly, I don't feel a lot, and that's probably...
There you go. Actually, you probably feel a lot.
but I'm not feeling
not,
a lot,
yeah,
so it's kind of
yeah.
nice, because I just wake up and do a couple of emails, work a little bit on the project thing, and then fucking bake and walk on my treadmill and play Monster Hunter.
Dude, sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'll take it for a couple months, but if it goes on for 2 more weeks, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
I can't not have something to do.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Yeah, let's get into it.
Would you like to get into it?
The deep end.
Just deep end.
The deep end. We're jumping in.
I'm off the deep end. You know that Lady Gaga song from A Star Is Born?
Yeah.
I've been singing
Lady
it.
Gaga's back.
Oh, is Lady Gaga back?
You didn't know Lady Gaga was back?
I didn't know Lady Gaga was back.
Oh.
I'm really...
How do you not know that?
I don't pay attention
Lady
to the
Gaga's
world
fully
around
back.
me.
Because listen, I was always a big Gaga person. You know this. All through high school.
I love Gaga.
I got to art pop, and then after art pop, I just was like, I see the journey you're on, and I respect it, and I respect you. But
it's not my vibe.
It's just not my vibe right now.
Which is totally fine.
Actually, I did like Joanne.
Yeah.
Actually, so after Joanne is when I stopped. Chromatica, I didn't get into that.
Oh,
I didn't
really
get
that at all.
I didn't get into any of the Stars Born shit or any of that.
No.
But now we're back.
Okay, cool.
We're full back. We're
full
Fame
pop?
Monster back.
Fun.
Did
she release a single?
New album.
Oh,
a full new album.
Wow. I'm really out of the loop.
You're super out of the loop. And I mean, the singles, Disease and then Abracadabra.
Ooh.
You haven't heard that?
Paul, no. Paul, I don't think you understand when I tell you. I don't
understand because Abracadabra has been everywhere.
I don't think you understand that the only social media I'm on is TikTok, and
it's all over TikTok.
Only thing on TikTok are smut books. If you looked at
Formula One, yours.
And Formula One edits. If you looked at my fucking
your For You page is for you.
If you looked at my For You page, literally nothing but books in Formula One.
I believe you, but it's still shocking to me that you haven't heard
Not
anything of Abracadabra.
Nothing.
Lady Gaga is back.
Okay, well,
we're gonna watch the video after this.
Oh, okay.
I don't care. You're not rushing out.
No, that's fine.
You're gonna watch.
Okay, that's fine. We'll check. I'll check out Lady Gaga.
Yeah, you have to check out Lady Gaga.
I will. I'm glad she's back.
She's back.
I quite love her.
Yeah.
She's back. Great. All right, so get into this book that we're reading this week. This is the newest phenomenon from Ali Hazelwood called Deep End.
Look at the artwork on the sides of the book. What do you call that? The sides of the book?
The
seam? What would you call that?
I don't know what you would call the side. It's like a pool. It's like water. Yeah, no, dude. I fucking love whoever did this illustration. I love it.
It's about mermaids.
See, it's all... Ooh, whoa, hot, steamy.
Oh, chlorine in your pussy is what this book is about.
Yeah. Yep. She's a really, really famous author. And this is her newest release, and it's her steamiest, smuttiest book she's ever written.
The Deep End.
It's called Deep End. And she originally, her working title was Wet.
The Deepest End. Oh, okay. Wet. That's funny.
Do you want to read the back?
Yeah. I'll kill you. Oh, man.
Paul, I'll kill you.
It's got
water droplets.
Yeah,
Do you
can feel them.
Uh-huh. It's tactile.
Yeah, it's a whole experience.
It really is, though.
A competitive diver and an ace swimmer jump into forbidden waters in the steamy college romance. Okay. Scarlett Vandermeer is swimming upstream, a junior at Stanford and a student athlete who specializes in platform diving. Scarlett prefers to keep her head down, concentrating on getting into med school and on recovering from the injury that almost ended her career. She has no time for relationships. At least, that's what she tells herself. Uh-oh. Swim captain, world champion, and all-around aquatic golden boy Lucas Blomqvist? Blumpkin thrives on discipline. It's how he wins gold medals and breaks records. Complete focus with every stroke. Nice. On the surface, Lucas and Scarlett have nothing in common until a well-guarded secret slips out and everything changes. Oh. So there's the hook. So they start an arrangement. And as the pressure leading to the Olympics heats up, so does their relationship. It was supposed to be just a temporary, mutually satisfying fling. But when staying away from Lucas becomes impossible, Scarlett realizes that her heart might be treading into dangerous water. Okay.
Okay.
What did you think? What's your review? What's your stars?
It was bordering 5, but I've settled on 4.75.
Oh, so you really liked it.
I
Oh.
I dare say I love this
You
book.
loved
No,
it.
I absolutely fucking love this book. So much so that I bought it's not dual POV. Usually I read her chapter, his chapter, her
Yeah,
chapter,
yeah,
his
yeah,
chapter.
yeah.
It's all just from her perspective. But I bought the audiobook to listen to it because it's so fucking hot. And it's a dually narrated audiobook. So like his dialogue, her dialogue. So it's like they're actually having conversations and shit. And he's from Sweden and so the narrator has a Swedish accent. It's so fucking hot. Anyway, that's how much I love this book. I bought the audiobook.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I do
all
have
right.
I do have Audible, but new books like this, you have to use your credit for, and I only get 1 credit a month.
And this, so you already spent your credit?
Uh-huh. All right, Paul. Oh, and 4 chili pepper spices.
Okay. And these are all out of 5, correct?
Yeah, these are all out of 5. So overall rating 4.75 out of 5, spices 4 out of 5. So, obviously, we meet Scarlett Vandermeer. People call her Vandy. Mostly people call her Vandy.
Okay.
Division 1 athlete, super smart, very in control. She went into college with a 15-year plan. I'm going to win the NCAA titles, try to be an Olympian, go to med school, become a doctor, get married, have kids. She's got her 15-year plan. Everything's regimented with her.
Okay. Type
know.
A.
Yes.
I mean, obviously it's not what I guessed it would be.
Uh-huh.
But some of the pieces are there.
Yeah.
College, swim team, Olympics.
Totally.
I said all that.
No, dude, you weren't far off.
I'm not that far off.
You really weren't. Okay, so and just backstory, she got injured her freshman year, I want to say, and she's been rehabbing it for 18 months, she hurt her shoulder,
Hit the water too hard.
got a massive concussion, sprains. Yeah, she was trying to do an inward dive, and it fucked up her shit.
I don't know what that is.
Neither do I. She's rehabbing. She's getting back into competitive shape now, and she's in therapy because she has the yips. So her body is fine, but mentally, she can't do an inward dive. So she's
scared.
And her coaches are getting pissed. They're like, they're not mean to her.
No, whatever. That's the problem with these college
They're
fucking
not mean
coaches.
to
The way
her.
they treat these student athletes, they're making money off them. They're not paying them. We all know.
We all know. No. He's very supportive, Coach Sema.
You're really changing your tune because you said that they were fucking mad at her.
They're not. Later, it gets into that.
I don't like that.
Okay, anyway, so she's in therapy to try and get past this mental block to be able to do an inward dive. But she is on the Stanford swim team.
Big money.
Yeah.
Big money for the school.
Uh-huh.
How much do the coaches get paid?
I wonder.
Run the numbers.
I wonder, dude.
More than the students.
For sure.
What are they getting paid? Fucking scholarship?
They're getting paid in...
Cafeteria bucks?
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cafeteria
Meal
bucks.
ticket
Meal
shit?
tickets.
I don't fucking think so.
So she is celebrating her birthday with her teammates, and her captain is there, Penelope. We call her Pen. She goes by Pen.
Okay, I would too.
Pen is there. Pen is talking about her boyfriend, Lucas Blomqvist.
That just sounds like a bad thing.
Blomqvist. I don't know.
It just sounds like bad.
He's Swedish.
It sounds fisty.
Yeah.
It's the noise that your asshole makes when I pull my fist out.
Yes. Blomqvist.
Blomqvist.
Yeah. No, it's not an attractive last name. That's for sure.
Yeah, I would not take his last name. I wouldn't even hyphen.
Yeah, but he's fucking hot. So
I wouldn't even hyphen.
No. You know what?
He can take my last name.
Yes, he can.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Lucas
right.
Hatfield?
Yeah.
That's a white guy's name.
Yeah. Also, is Paul Hatfield.
That's biblical.
Okay.
Pablo? Thank you.
I wish your name was Pablo.
In some parts of the world, it is.
You're not wrong. Anyway, she's talking about her boyfriend, Lucas, who is a 6'5", Swedish, from Sweden, has an accent, 5-time Olympic gold medal winning swimmer.
Okay.
Who is also the captain of the male swim team at Stanford.
How old is he?
He's 22.
Okay. For some reason I said 25 and I was like,
I think he went to the Olympics when he was 18. When he won. Anyway, so Penn's talking about her boyfriend, and she's like, and they've been together since they were 15. Penelope and Lucas, yeah. So she's like, I'm just not into what he's into. It's never going to work out. It's never going to happen. Whatever.
If you tell me that Scarlett's a virgin.
She's not.
Okay, thank God.
She's not a virgin, yeah.
I was worried about when they were like, and something comes out and they start an arrangement. I was like, because she's
you're going to find out the secret in one goddamn second.
Okay, well, let's go.
Scarlett's like, okay, I wonder what that's about. A couple days later, she's in the swimming facility, and she hears Penelope and Lucas arguing, and Lucas is like kind of looming over her. He's a big guy, and she's like, I hope everything's
I
okay.
don't like that.
So she like goes over there and she's like, hey, Pen, is everything all right? And she's like, oh, we're fine. And Lucas like looks at her and then just like looks at Penelope and just walks away. And Scar's like, what's going on here? And so Penelope takes her into like the locker room and like opens up to her, and she's like, I think we're gonna break up. It's just not gonna work out. He needs someone he can spank and order around and tell what to do, and I'm just never gonna be that for him.
Yeah, she does seem like she's plain vanilla. Penelope, come on.
Yeah. And
Penelope does not
Scarlet
fuck.
is like, really? And so
She's like, give him my number.
She's like, let me take you out for coffee real quick. I need to talk to you about something. And so Scarlet sits down Pen and she's like, I've too have been in a relationship where we were not sexually compatible.
Because she's a freak.
And she's like, I'm in the BDSM community. I'm a sub and a masochist.
Yeah, she is. Obviously. Fucking
now you know why I'm 4.5.
Yeah. She's got this tight grip on her life and everything's so organized that she's just like, in the bedroom, tell me what to do.
Yup.
Make me feel like nothing.
Like a toy to be used.
Yeah, like a toy to be used.
Yep.
No thought.
Penelope's like, what?
Yeah.
And so Scarlett's like, yeah, like my brain's always been weird with pain and pleasure. Like And so she was like asking her all this shit, blah, blah, blah.
Freaking.
And I'm going to read this to you.
She's freaking. Okay.
Uh-huh. See,
cool.
this is
Look at your highlights.
Oh, yeah, dude. Highlighting. And I use blue because water.
That's true. Blue is water.
Uh-huh. Anyway. Okay. Fucking Pen. She goes, this is so 50 Shades, Vandy. Uh-huh.
Shut up, Pen.
Yeah. And she goes, anyway, would you be able to explain what you like about letting someone take control? And she's like, to me, it's about freedom. And then Pen's like, the freedom of having someone tell you what to do?
The freakdom.
I know it sounds counterintuitive, but I'm usually just overthinking things. Am I taking up too much space? Am I boring you? Disappointing you? Would you rather be somewhere else with someone else? Overwhelmed by the burden of wondering whether I'm doing it right. If someone I feel safe with is directing me, Penelope goes, you like the structure. She goes, that's a good way of putting it. She goes, did your ex hurt you? During sex, I mean. I nod. Sometimes a little. And you were okay with that? Absolutely. Everything was pre-agreed. We constantly checked in with each other and we had a safe word. So she's just explaining.
You slam that book down. This is you. You're just like looking at me, telling me about yourself through someone else's voice. And that's fine. That is what I think. That is what I think.
Yeah. But you think I'm like every single...
Well, I do think you are like most of them.
Yeah.
Not all of them, though.
No.
I just think you're always the autistic one.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And the sub ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're not off.
So?
You're not far off. Anyway, so she's like, well, that's cool, but I'm just never going to be into that.
Yeah.
Like we've tried, and I'm not into it.
Well, like, what's the point of this coffee? To talk me into doing it, or to talk me into letting you fuck my boyfriend?
Just to talk about it in general. She just wanted to be like, listen, I know you're not into this, he's into it. My ex-boyfriend was not into it, so like I understand that you're not, shit ain't mission.
So I think you guys should break up and I should fuck your boyfriend, your ex-boyfriend.
Whew. Yeah,
Excuse me.
Right? Excuse me. Okay, so a few days later, they're at like one of the coaches is having like an annual barbecue at his house, and Scarlett's there, everyone's there, Lucas is there, Pen's there, and Pen is like very drunk.
She's about to tell everybody.
Lucas, she's like sitting with Scarlett, just off by themselves, and Lucas like approaches and he's like, okay, I'm gonna take you home now.
You drunk
and she's
mess.
like, you guys should have sex with each other.
Damn right, Pen. That's what she's doing. She's connecting dots. She's bringing people together, and I do respect that.
Yep.
You know.
And Scarlett's like, oh my God, like, wide-eyed. She's like, shut the fuck up. And Lucas is like, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, I know you think she's hot, Lucas. You've told me before. She's a sub. She just
get into it.
Just saying it.
Well, you know what? That's the whole thing. Is so much is left unsaid in this world, and Penelope is fixing that, and she's making things happen. She's a shaker. She's a mover.
She's a shaker. She's a mover. And he's like, okay, I'm taking you home. So he takes her home. Whatever. Scarlett's like,
can I come too?
Yeah.
You put her to bed, and we'll wake her up.
Yeah. She's like embarrassed. Whatever. Cut to a week later. Scarlett her key card like isn't working to get into like the locker room facility, and all her shit is in there. And so she texts Penn, because Penn's the captain, and she's like, my key card's not working again, can you please come down to the facility to let me in? And
She's like, no, but
Penelope's
Lucas
like,
can.
no, I'm with a guy, so I can't.
A guy.
Yeah, it comes out like 1 second later, so it doesn't matter. Her and Lucas have broken up now.
Okay, yeah. Now
So
she's with some nice
like,
boy named Matthew who's
actually,
like had sex 3 times.
She's with her old TA, who's older than her, but not her TA anymore. And they're together now. Yeah. Because Penelope told her at the coffee shop, she was like, I want to have sex with other people. I want Lucas to have sex with other people. I want him to be able to do what he wants. And I'm never going to do that. So it's just never going to work out. Anyway. So Penn's like, no, I can't come let you in. But I'll text Lucas. I'll have him come down there and let you in. He's
I get what you're trying to do here. Penn.
Okay, so I want to read you just a little bit, just so you get a taste for the kind of banter.
She's trying to get Lucas fucked so that she doesn't feel bad about the fact that she clearly had this TA backburnered during the relationship with Lucas.
Totally.
And it's like, whatever.
Well, wait till you find some shit out. We'll find some shit out. Anyway, buckle up.
Cheating ass.
Anyway, so Lucas goes down there to let her in, and he looks at her, and he's like,
I heard you're a sub.
Do you want to get it out of the way? Rich, that's what I'd call his voice. Rumbly, maybe. Get what out of the way? The elephant in the room? I swallow. Is he referring to the one with the ball gag in his mouth? He says. Laughter pops out of me. Wow, ball gags? He shrugs. Not really my thing. She looks at him. Maybe the elephant's just blindfolded. He nods slowly. And tied up. And doing as it's told. He looks like he might find that more appealing. What a good little elephant, he says.
Your face. What a good little elephant.
You know my basement was flooded, Paul. I said, let's get into it.
I would say I don't like how much we're throwing around elephant when referring to me, but
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little loose with that.
Yeah, a little fast and loose with the elephant comment there. Is that a fat joke?
Yeah.
Okay, so she gets her bag, and he's like, all right, like, I'll walk with you. And he grabs her bag from her, and she's like, oh, thank you. And he's like, you were injured, right? And she's like, yeah, my shoulder. And she's like talking about her injury. He's like, he stops, and she turns around. She's like, what are you doing? He's like, come here. And she's like, why? And he goes, because I told you to.
Little sparkle in your eye.
Uh-huh. And so she goes over there, and he like leans in and like grabs her shoulder and like stretches it in a way. And she's like, oh my God.
Swedish massage.
Yeah, Swedish massage. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, this is amazing. I've never been whatever, you know. And she's like, you're single now, right? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, do you have a boyfriend? And she says no. And he goes, well, you could find someone out there to give you what you need. And she's like, you and I both know it's not that simple. And he's like, okay, so there's heavy flirtation.
They're obviously
here.
heavy flirting. I want to be like, it is that simple. There are sites for this now. It is
for sure
easy, but okay.
Yeah, but they're young. They're only 20. She's only 21. She's never been in like a dom sub relationship before. So whatever. Anyway,
she's just always wanted to be.
Yeah.
Right.
And tried with her ex Josh, who sounds like a little pussy. Anyway.
Yeah, his name's Josh.
Yeah, pussy. So later that night, she gets an email at like 12:30 in the morning, and the subject line is "What you need." And in the body of the email, it says, if you decide to go for it, I think it should be me. And it's from Lucas. Yep. She does nothing. She does nothing with it. She like just sits on it. So then
I would send a nude back.
Oh,
immediately.
Wide open.
Yeah. You'd be on the way to his house.
I'd say right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Some time goes by. We're getting into like the more academic side of her. By the way, this author writes mainly like she's in STEM, so she writes STEM characters. So like all the women in her books are scientists.
Yeah.
So anyway, Scarlett writes this insane computational biology paper that her professor is really impressed with. And I guess he doesn't get impressed by anyone or anything. And he's like, this was really fucking good. I want you to join this like research team that Dr. Olive Smith has.
Olive Smith, right. That's not a fake name.
Right.
Witness protection.
Witness protection.
Yeah, who knows what he knows.
But Dr. Olive Smith is a woman.
Sorry.
Olive.
So fucked up.
You ever heard of a man named Olive?
Well, I don't, see gender.
Oh, you're right. You're a good
Except
person.
for when I just did, when I assumed that a doctor was a man.
So she is like, okay, I'm a student athlete. I'm in pre-med. She's like, her workload is fucking insane.
Yeah. Where will she find the time to be a sub?
I know, right? Well, she hardly does. Anyway, so she agrees, and she goes to meet Dr. Olive Smith, and she's talking about herself, and she's like, I'm a student athlete, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, you're a student athlete too. The other person on this research project is a student athlete.
I wonder who it's going
to be. In walks Lucas.
Oh my God.
So they get the lay of the land. They're just talking about research and stuff, and then everybody leaves. And then it's finally just Scarlett and Lucas. And he looks at her and he goes, the email I wrote, I had no idea we'd need to collaborate on a project, or I wouldn't have sent it. If you're uncomfortable, I can pull out. We can tell Olive. Olive, I nearly wince. He notices. What's wrong? Just, you said her name. A confused look. Her first name. He tilts his head. Are you planning to call her Dr. Smith for the rest of the semester? Of course. The corner of his mouth curls like he's entertained. What? I ask in defense. You really do like your authority figures, don't you? Anyway, so she goes, so we're really doing this? And he goes, doing what? And she's like, openly acknowledging that we know way too much about each other's sexual preferences. And he's like, she goes, you're just as... Oh, he goes, unless it bothers you, would you like me to pretend I don't know about your perversions? And she goes, you're just as much of a perv as I am. He goes, oh no, way more, I guarantee it. She's like, you're right, let's just own it. And he goes, one of us gets off to flogs and the other to calling other people doctor. And she's like, maybe Penn was right. Maybe we are made for each other. Hello. Oh. And he goes, we won't know until we try.
Yeah, I was like, you guys should just fuck and get it over with.
So yeah, he goes, we won't know until we try. Anyway, so they go into like the student athlete cafeteria or whatever, and they're talking. And he's like, yeah, I'm in pre-med too. And I'm going to be a doctor. And I took the MCATs already. And I interviewed at Stanford Med. And she's like, how is this guy fucking perfect? Like, he's an Olympian. He's a fucking doctor. He's smart. He's nice. He's a dom.
What's about to happen?
Anyway, so while they're talking, his like swim team friends come up and they're like all loud and shit. And he's just kind of like observing her. And he's like, can you guys fuck off?
Yeah.
And so when they leave, he's like, you clearly have a problem with men. He was like, I thought it was just me because you've flinched a couple times. Like when you saw me talking to Penn, you were weird around that guy in our research project and you were weird around everyone. And she was like,
oh no.
Yeah, she was like, I had issues with my dad growing up and now men make me nervous and I don't like crowds or loud noises. And she's like, you must think I'm really weird for having issues with men.
And then being a sub.
And he's like, no, I don't think that's weird because what you and I enjoy in the bedroom is about trust. And it sounds like you didn't have that growing up. And he's just being all like fucking sweet and nice and intuitive to her.
He's going to fucking harvest her kidneys and sell them on the black market.
I know you're waiting for that other shoe to drop. Spoiler alert.
It doesn't?
It doesn't. He's literally perfect.
Now I trust him less.
Anyway, so she talks to Penelope the next day, and Penelope's like, oh, you guys are working on that research project together. That's great. You know, Lucas is single now. Wink, wink.
Stop trying to get me to fuck your ex-boyfriend. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Totally. But Penelope's like, we haven't told anyone we're broken up because he's like famous and we weren't in the same circles and whatever. They just didn't, they're not telling people, they're not pretending to be dating anymore, but they're just not telling anyone that they're broken up.
Okay.
I know. I was like, all right.
Sounds like none of my problem.
Well, I'm just like, just fucking tell people you're broken up. Like, you're fucking a TA.
Yeah.
You know?
An old TA.
Uh-huh. So I'm like, whatever. They're like a power couple and they just like don't want the drama that it's going to come with telling people that they've broken up. Whatever.
Dumb.
Yep, just so you're aware. So the next time they meet up, Lucas and Scarlett and like all the other people working on that research project, the next time they meet up, she's in there and she like takes her shoes off and puts her feet up on the chair that he was sitting on. And when he comes back, he like lifts up her legs and puts them on his. But they're like under the table so no one else can see. And he's like fucking with her ankle, like rubbing her ankle and like sliding his hands up her leggings and stuff like that. And she's like, her basement is flooded. Yeah. She's like, oh my God, he's touching me.
Oh, and all these people are around.
Oh, she's all hot and bothered. And then finally he lets go. And she's like, what the fuck was that? You know what I'm saying? So it's a slow burn. We're building up to it. Okay.
It's not the slowest burn. I'll tell you.
Well, that's actually like up here. So it kind of is. There's a lot of talk about her academics that I'm not really going to get into.
Yeah, well, I don't really care about her.
Yeah, because this is secondhand smut.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't need a report card.
We want the smut. Anyway, so she's in practice and she's still trying to overcome her yips. She can't. And then Penelope does synchronized diving and her teammate, her partner, gets a career-ending injury in practice one day. And
what is going on with the facilities? People are just getting hurt.
You know what? You want to know how she did it? It was actually
Slipped and
it was
fell?
actually in dry land practice. It wasn't even in a pool. They do like gymnastics and shit.
Yeah.
And she fucking broke her goddamn ankle while doing like gymnastics, like tripped over a fucking mat. Career-ending injury.
Career-ending ankle break?
Uh-huh.
Did they cut the foot off?
I don't know.
Jesus fuck.
I know. So now the coach is like, Scarlett, you are now going to be Penelope's synchro partner.
I say you asked me that. You don't tell me that.
Well, she's been told. So she's like, fuck, now I'm going to let Penelope down because I suck so bad because I can't get over my yips.
Yeah.
You know? She's like...
And you won't fuck her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. Penelope's
You're just
gonna
letting her down left and right.
Yes. A big theme. This happens over like an entire year, by the way. So, you know, most romance novels, people fall in love in like 6 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
Stupid shit like
It's
that.
Hallmark
But this
movies
is
shit.
like actually over a lot of time. So,
Well, because she's got finals and shit.
well, and they just are so busy, they don't have time to see each other. So, a theme of this book is like a lot of time goes by. So, anyway, some more time goes by, and Penelope takes Scarlett to a party, which Scarlett does not party. Scarlett
Obviously
does not.
not.
Yeah, obviously. She gets in there, and Penelope's like pushing her towards Lucas, and she like gets freaked out.
It's getting weird at this point with Penelope.
She really wants Lucas.
It's
to,
like a cuck thing.
Yeah. Well, she just wants she does. Lucas is her best friend. They are still BFFs,
That's
and she's like,
fine.
I want you to be happy, and I know this bitch is a sub, so I want you to like.
Well, it's like when a girl meets another gay guy and they're like, I know a gay guy,
For
you should
sure,
date them.
for
It's like don't push, bro.
For sure. Yeah. No, she's certainly pushy.
Yeah, there's other subs.
There are. So Scarlett like kind of freaks out, and she's like, it's too loud in here, it's too crowded. So she like goes upstairs to a bedroom to chill out and sits down. In walks Lucas. And he's like, hey.
Hey,
like,
I know
"Oh."
you don't like loud crowds and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, can I rub your feet?
He's like so hot. He's like standing in the doorway.
Look at you. He's like so hot.
He's like so hot. So he walks up to her. He like kneels down in front of her, and he's like, I know you're attracted to me. Blah, 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 blah.
Ugh, cocky.
And she's like, I've never been attracted to someone who the entire world wants to fuck. And he's like, grabs her like
Really?
face with his hand. And he's like, come on, Scarlett. We all know who I want to have sex with. And then he slips his thumb into her mouth, like in a domineering way, and like
I
pulls
understand.
her. And she's like, oh my God. She's like letting it happen.
Fish hooked.
Fish hooked. And he's like, you have 2 options. You stay quiet right now and we pretend like none of this ever happened. I'll never bring it up. We just work on our project together. We swim, we dive. We'll never bring it up. Or you tell me right now what this is and we'll figure it out. We'll go all in together. And she's just like stunned silent. She's like, so she doesn't say anything at all. He's like, okay, bye, Scarlett, and leaves. And she like, when she comes to her senses, she's like, oh, fuck. So she replies to that email that he sent her, whatever, like a month ago, and says when and where. Whew, here we go. Finally. So he sees her the next day at the swimming facility, and he like pulls her into the corner, and he hands her something. And she's like, what is this? He's like, I need you to fill this out.
It's a questionnaire.
Yeah. And she's like, oh my God. He goes, do you know what that is? I nod, forcing myself to inhale deeply. I'm familiar, yes. It just caught me by surprise, and it's not my fault. It's not my fault if the first thing I read on the list is come play. He goes, have you ever used one of these? Not really. Truthfully, I researched them and I read them through, and I debated showing them to Josh, her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then I realized someone who balked at the idea of nipple clamps would probably not enjoy reading a BDSM checklist that included stuff like anal fisting, cross-mounting, and chastity gear. So, no.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't know what a lot of that is.
He goes, text me when you're done filling it in. And she's like, okay, thank you for giving this to me. I'll let you know when I'm done. And he's like, I need to know what you need, Scarlett, and I need to make sure I can provide that to you. Hey-o. Fucking Daddy Lucas, hello. Jesus. So a few days go by, she fills it out, and she texts him. She's like, okay, I'm ready. And so he's like, let's meet in the library, and we'll go over everything. And so she goes in there, and like his list is sitting on the table, and she hands him his. And she's like all nervous, and she's like just talking while he's reading it. She's like, oh my God. And he like reads it, and then like lowers it, and then looks at her and stares at her, and then just grabs her and pins her up against the wall and just starts
Is that on the list?
fucking making out with her. Oh, she likes it rough, Paul.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah, but it's slam me up against the wall in the library, make out with me on the list.
I mean, why would it not be?
Okay.
So
Are they gonna? Like, she didn't even look at his list.
She hasn't yet.
Because she's gonna look and it's gonna be a perfect match.
God, you're so good.
Well, obviously.
Okay, so they ferociously make out, whatever, it's hot as hell. And then she's like, what do we do about Penelope? And he's like, don't worry, I'll talk to her about it.
I'm like, what do you mean Penelope won't get off my fucking jock about fucking this guy? Like,
for sure. So later that night, she reads his list and realizes it's a mirror image of hers.
oh my god. Soulmates.
Soulmates.
This is a soulmate level match.
And she gets soulmate level
fucking
match.
twin flames.
Twin
Twin flames, baby.
Uh-huh. Okay, so then some more time passes, like another week and a half, and they're like, haven't talked to each other.
How could you not? I would
I
like,
know.
we just
I would be like, we're doing
the
this
results
right
are
now.
in.
The results are in.
We're a match.
Speaking of results, on each other's list, she wrote, I'm on birth control, and he wrote,
I have a vasectomy.
We are gonna both get tested, so that she's like, I'm not fucking you with a condom.
Yeah, bareback.
I'm like, thank God.
Good on ya. Whip it off.
So one Saturday, it's been like another week and a half now. One Saturday goes by and she's like, I'm just going to go to the biology lab and do some work on that project. They gave her like a key to get in there. And when she gets in there, Lucas is there. He's like just sitting there. He's like, oh, did you come here to do blah, 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 blah? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, how did you know? And he's like, because I already did it. Some stupid shit like that. Anyway.
So he did it, stupid.
Okay, so he's like, you read the list? He asks again. So she goes over to him. He's sitting in a stool. She's standing up and she's standing like in between his legs. But because he's so tall, they're like eye to eye.
Yeah.
Hot. So anyway, he just says, you read the list. He's asked against the shell of my ear. I nod into his chest. His palm slides up to the top of my spine. A slab of heat and touch. Until his thumb finds the pulse at the base of my neck and wipes back and forth. Good girl. I close my eyes.
Your face.
I knew you
your
were gonna
face,
say
dude. Your eyes started over me, whatever.
I wanted to see
Good
your
girl.
reaction. I wanted to see your reaction. Anyway, good girl, he says. I close my eyes, dissolve into the gratification of knowing that I've done something right. The simple pleasure of pleasing someone. Anything you want to say about that? He says. She goes, can you just... I free my arms from between our bodies and loop them around his waist. It might be the most intimate hug I've ever been a part of. Just what, Scarlett? I swallow. I just want to be told what to do. For once.
For once in my life, I just want to be told what to do. And I want to do it right.
So she says that to him, and he's like, fuck, you're perfect. We get our first little taste of it. Okay, so they start, like, getting handsy with each other.
Yeah.
And then eventually he goes, you just want to be told exactly what to do, don't you? Right now, you just want to be a mouth for me, don't you? Open up.
Oh, shit.
Uh-huh. Lucas wants to be in control, and I get to do very little about it. He takes the base of his straining cock, flattens the underside against my mouth, brushes the head against my lips. He grunts as he starts feeding me the first inch, and the second. Oh, fuck. His palm is around my jaw, controlling every moment. All I can do is keep myself open and soft for him. I need a minute to... That's what he says. He pulls out another groan, a deep inhale. He caresses my cheek gently, sweetly, like his cock is not dripping pre-cum on the side of my mouth. I'm going to teach you the way I like it. You want to learn, don't you? It's my purpose in life.
Yeah.
Yeah! Woo!
It's my purpose in life.
It's my purpose in life.
Oh, that's dirty. That's some smut right there.
That's some smut.
That's some smut.
That's some smut, dude.
That's some smut.
Oh, just buckle up.
Okay. Look, you have lifted and slammed this book. So, like, I'm getting a nice breeze from it. Like, I'm cooling down.
Are you? Okay, so but obviously she goes down on him and he, like, comes in her mouth or whatever.
Obviously.
And then when he's done, he's, like, teasing her over her underwear. And he's like, you deserve to come after what you just did, but I don't think you want it that bad, so I'm not going to let you.
And withholding.
Like, and he's like, let's go. And so he walks her to his house, and she meets one of his roommates, who's also, like, on the swim team or whatever. And they're just talking, whatever. So then he's like, let's go upstairs. And he pushes her in, and then catches her and lifts her up, and then just, like, throws her on the bed, rips her shorts and underwear off, and then...
Rips?
Yeah. The underwear.
But the shorts?
No, he, like, pulls.
Okay, I was like, how am I getting home?
How am I getting home?
Bare bottom?
Bare bottom.
Pooh Bear?
Pooh Bear.
Pooh Bear?
You're
Daffy
just
Duck?
Pooh Bearing it all the way home.
No.
And then he's like, I'm going to make you come until you
I'm gonna
can't
make you
handle
come.
it. And then he does it like a million times.
Okay.
And he's waiting for his test results to come back. And he's like, I don't want to fuck you with a condom, so we're not going to have sex right now. But so this is what he does. He like puts her down on the bed. This is secondhand smut. This is what the people are here for.
I was so excited. It's like, finally, we're in it.
I know. Puts her down on the bed on her stomach and then puts her legs close together and then straddles her legs and then like fucks in between her thighs. Like,
I understand. That does not sound hot to me.
Me neither.
I gotta tell you.
I would let it happen.
I bet you would, you sub whore. But if he told you to do it, you would do it.
I would.
But it's just like the vibe of it is off to me.
Yeah. Anyway, so he like fucks like in between her thighs, whatever.
Yeah. He takes her in the Christian way.
And then when he's done, he grabs her and like holds her and he's like, I'll clean you up in a minute, but please just let me touch you for a little while. Hot.
Gulping that drink down, thinking about it.
And then they hold each other. That's at like 5 p.m. And then they like hold each other and they fall asleep. And then she wakes up at like 9 p.m. and she's like, I should probably go.
Sticky.
Sticky. So she leaves. She sneaks out and goes home. We have found out previously in previous conversations with Penelope that her and Lucas did not sleep together. They were dating since they were 15, but she would not stay over at his house, and they would not snuggle, and they would not.
But
cuddle.
they had sex.
They had sex.
They just didn't.
But they wouldn't
cuddle.
sleep. They wouldn't cuddle or stay the night.
Weird.
I know. So there's something that's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She did it with him. Then after that, he totally fucking ghosts her. I guess that's a little bit of a shoe.
Men.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a shoe.
That's a little bit
there.
of a shoe drop.
Yeah, he ghosts her, and she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know? So 2 weeks goes by and she obviously sees him everywhere. She sees him all over campus. She sees him like research project, but he won't text her. He won't call her.
Has she texted him?
She's like, I feel used and not in the good way.
Yeah. Not in the way I signed up for.
Right. Exactly. I think she might have texted him once. I can't remember. I think so. So then
Is he mad that she snuck out?
That's what I thought was. That's what I
hurt.
thought was happening, but that's not what it was. So then one day, after 2 weeks have gone by, she gets kind of approached, not cornered, but she gets approached by like all the guys on the swim team, and she's by herself, and she gets like a little freaked out. They're not threatening her.
They don't sound not threatening,
but she's just. They are her friends, like, but she can't handle.
That's
men.
too many people.
Yeah, it's too many people. And so Lucas kind of comes up out of nowhere and like grabs her and he's like, are you okay? Like, do you want to go? And she's like, yeah, can you?
But what were they approaching her about?
Just to say, hey, they were just like, hey, what's up, Vandy? What's going on, Vandy? Blah, blah, blah. And she just got freaked out. And
Okay.
Lucas saw it happen.
Okay.
And so he grabbed her and was like, I'll get you out of here, whatever. And she's like, oh, okay, thanks. She's like, I know I was safe with them, but thank you for helping me anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You scumbag.
And then, but then she's like, so you ghosted me.
Yeah, so what's the deal?
But they get interrupted by Lucas's older brother, Jan.
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 Yeah.
Jan.
Jan. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Jan.
And Jan is like, oh, hey, what's up? Lucas and I were just about to go on a hike. Do you want to go on a hike with us? And she's like, but she looks at Lucas and Lucas is kind of like, she's like, I think he wants me to say yes. So she says yes. So her and Lucas.
Why is everything on his terms?
Oh, isn't that the agreement? Well, no.
I just mean on this part. We're not in the bedroom.
Right. Well, she's like, I want to hang out with him, you know? So she's like, yeah, I'll go on a hike with you guys.
Simping.
I would be a simp for him, too.
You is a simp. You is a simp.
Anyway, so on the hike, the brother is like, just talking about stories about them growing up and stuff. And he's like, yeah, Lucas likes to really withhold stuff from himself. Whenever he gets anything good, he will stop. He's like, when he had a toy growing up, he loved a toy so much, he would take it away from himself and not let himself play with it.
Dude, this is so funny.
Why?
Well, like, I have also been in a situation where I was talking to my ex-boyfriend's siblings.
Yeah.
And they started describing an aspect of him growing up that was a kink he has now.
Really?
Yeah, it was the furry that I used to date. And his sister was talking about,
You dated a... Oh,
yes,
yeah,
you do.
Yeah.
His sister was like, oh, yeah, we used to play pretend with like the neighbor girl and you would always want to be the dog. And I would like... like,
shut up.
and then she like it's in front of his whole family, going on and on about
That's
this
hilarious.
childhood memory of what he always insisted on. He wanted to be the dog, and he would pretend to be a dog whenever
That
they
is
played.
hilarious.
And I was like, "Oh, does he?"
You're like, wow.
Really? Yeah, I've never seen him in a collar.
That's hilarious. So yes, she's like, oh, that's what he's doing with me. He's not letting himself have me.
Yeah,
And so,
and I'm just an object, a toy that he likes, and she likes that.
well, actually, so you'll hear. So,
okay, I will.
Just because that's actually not totally accurate.
Oh,
so when the brother,
sorry?
yes,
I would hate to get it confused.
when the brother leaves, she's like, "Is that what you're doing? You're not letting yourself be with me because you like me?" And he was like, "Honestly, yes." He was like, "You make me feel like I'm out of control. I can't breathe when you're around. I'm like,
I'm in love.
I'm liking you."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Okay, I understand that, but I can't be with someone who resents being in my presence." So,
Yeah, I can't be with someone who comes between my thighs and then can't look at me.
and then ghosts
And
me.
then ghosts me and
Yeah.
doesn't text me the next
So she's
day.
like, "Bye, Lucas."
Yeah.
She just kind of goes on with her life. And she's like practicing. She's going to therapy. Her and her therapist are talking. They talk a lot in this book, but it's not smutty, so I'm not going to bring it up.
It's a therapy book.
Yeah. Now she's like working with Penn a lot. And their first like preseason competition is coming up. And she does well, but she does actually try to do an inward dive and she can't do it. And she comes in third and she hates herself for it.
Yeah, I would too.
I would too. I'd be like, I'm a piece of shit.
I would be like, maybe I should just give up.
Call it quits.
Yeah, maybe I should just call it quits and just focus on being a doctor.
Yeah.
Fucking failure.
And Lucas is at that thing. And of course, he wins like every single fucking race.
Fucking perfect piece of shit.
Then later that night, they're at a party. Lucas sees like some guy talking to Scarlett, and he comes up and he like gets the guy to fuck off.
Okay.
He sits her down and he's like, "I owe you an apology. I need to talk to you. Will you please let me apologize?"
Yeah,
so
you
he does a little groveling. So I'm going to read you that. "Scarlett, I'm sorry. I cock my head. How novel, I think. In my personal experience, men rarely apologize. You and I," he continues, "agree to trust each other and did one of the most intimate things two people like us can. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just sex, Lucas."
Yeah.
Which she doesn't mean that.
Of course
She's hurt.
not,
You know what I'm
obviously.
saying? "Scarlett," he waits until I'm looking at him in the eye. "I'm sorry, I couldn't immediately process what happened. I felt out of control and panicked. I acted like an asshole, and I put my own fear before your feelings, and that's the most fucked up thing I've ever done, without a doubt. None of this is an excuse, but what Jan said was true. When I'd felt out of control before, it was just never another person was involved. I owe you respect. I owe you care. I owe you truth. You, on the other hand, do not owe me forgiveness. But if you ever want to enter this kind of relationship with someone else, these are the things you should demand from them." And she's like, "Fine, I forgive you."
Whatever, that felt manipulative.
Worked on me.
Well, no doubt.
I don't know. Actually, I'll be honest with you. Actually, when I was reading this, I was like, I'm still pissed.
I'm pissed at like
You fucking ghosted me,
and
dude.
like this whole thing of like, I know I did you wrong, but you know the next guy.
Yeah.
It's like you're
That is
such a manipulative piece of shit.
That is a little bit. You're right.
Yeah, I've done that.
I've done that.
Yeah,
You're such
game
a
recognized
manip-
game.
For
Okay,
sure.
and that's not cool.
She forgives him, and he's like, "Let's go upstairs."
Let me show you what this mouth gonna do.
Oh, my note here. He takes her back to his house and fucks her into submission.
I can just imagine you typing this.
Oh.
Doop.
Yep, just like that. Also, so he has a huge
Dick.
dick.
Yeah.
Like, so huge that, like, I don't know that it ever goes all the way in her.
Aye.
Uh-huh.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, for sure. Now we're having sex. Hold on. Because I want to get all the good smut in there. Okay, he lets out a hot gasp somewhere around my cheekbone. My breath hitches as I tip my neck back. He's inside a couple of inches, but there's nowhere else for him to go. "Relax," he orders. I nod. Make myself pliant. He thrusts again and advances, just a little. The burn of the stretch is terrible, everything I ever wanted. Deep breath, Scarlett. We make some progress. I struggle. Lucas watches my face for every second of it, drinking in my bitten lips and my choppy breath, and my choppy breathing, and the winces that slip out of me. "Too much?" he asks. I nod a little desperately. "That's too bad, since you'll take what I fucking give you." And then
You are fucking cheesed about it. You are fucking grinning.
When I heard that this was a power exchange book, I ran to Amazon so fucking fast. Anyway, he goes, that's too bad since you'll take what I fucking give you. And then he rocks back inside, knocking any sense of self out of me. My entire body tightens around him, around his words. Oh, sweetheart, already? You just came from that? He's like degrading her a little bit. Anyway.
He's telling her what a piece of shit she is a little bit, you know? He's like telling her how worthless she is.
You came already? Wow, embarrassing.
Wow.
Embarrassing. Okay, then they have a fuck fest all night. Crazy fuck fest. He's like rough with her, blah, 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 blah. So then this is the next morning, and this is Scarlett. When I look at my naked body in the mirror, I nearly gasp. I trace the map of what we did last night on my skin like it's a pilgrimage. The red abrasions of his stubble, the blue bruises on the edge of my breast, a purple coin blooming on my hip bone, chapped, swollen lips. Wrecked. I look absolutely wrecked. I look like I'm something that belongs to Lucas, something used in precisely the way I asked for. When I collect my thoughts, I go back out and I find Lucas right there, leaning against the wall, holding a glass of water in one hand and Advil in the other. Is this the point where you look contrite and say you're sorry? I ask neutrally. He says nothing. He takes his thumb and presses it into the mark at my waist. Yes!
I said, he's like that.
He's like that.
Damn. I mean,
he goes,
is this going to affect her grades?
She's going to just be like,
yeah.
She goes, should I apologize about these two? And she goes, you don't sound apologetic. He goes, because I'm not. You love to be hurt, Scarlett. Just enough pain that you won't ever even think about not doing what I ask you to do. I love giving that to you, and I'm going to do that for as long as you'll let me.
Yo. I mean, good for them. I'm happy these two people found each other, but boy, do I not like being threatened into doing things with pain.
No?
No. I don't. I mean, good for them.
Good
Freak
for them.
on. Freak on.
Well, she's masochist. And
yeah. The fact that she gets pleasure from that pain is like got to be a whole different ball game.
And what I didn't put in my notes, but I'll tell you then, because this is how much of a masochist she is. They don't see each other for a while after this, but every day she pushes into her bruises.
I was going to say
she
does some shit like that.
She tries to get the bruises to stay where they are, but eventually they start fading and she gets all sad.
Oh, damn. Hate when your body heals itself.
Right? Yeah. Okay, so she walks into the swimming facility one day and she overhears the coaches like talking about her, and they're like, her body's fully recovered. This is all mental.
Yeah, this bitch cannot inboundward dive.
One of the coaches is like, should we consider like giving up her spot? And so she starts to unravel. She's like, I am such a piece of... She's like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
What's it called?
Inward dive.
Is inward diving like the only way that we're diving? Or like...
It's the only thing she can't do, but I don't know if this is right.
She can't compete all the things she can do?
She does everything else very well.
Sports are so fucking dumb.
So I don't know what it is. I don't know if an inward is maybe like a really high scoring... Whatever.
I don't want to know.
So she starts unraveling mentally. She's like... oh my God, panicking. She's like, I'm a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. And then there's another swim meet that she's supposed to compete in like 2 days later. And she does something that she's never done before. She pretends to be sick and she doesn't go because she's like, I can't handle this anymore.
Well.
So that night.
Maybe it's time to give up the pool.
Give it up. So that night, Lucas comes over and he's like, please tell me what's going on. And so she's just like, I have a mental block. I can't do this dive.
He's going to fix her with his dick.
And so they're having like a very intimate moment. And she's like, I don't need you to pity fuck me. And he's like,
well, then
what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh.
He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then she's like, I hate myself, blah, blah, blah. And she's like crying. He's holding her. And he's like, what happened with your injury? Tell me, like, keep talking, keep opening up. And she's like, well, her mother died when she was 2. Ugh. Her father was abusive, and her stepmother was abusive to her and her stepmother.
Okay. No siblings?
No siblings. And so her stepmother one day finally took them away from him, and she got sole custody, and she hasn't seen her father since. And she's like, so the day before I got injured, my dad reached out and told me he'd been watching me and all this stuff. And then she goes, and then also on the day I got injured, which was a huge NCAA competition, which is like the biggest deal. She was like, and on that day, Josh told me he was in love with another girl and broke up with me. And Lucas is like, well, no wonder you fucking
don't like to inward bound.
And he's like, you need to let yourself be sad about this. Because she was like, I never let myself cry over this. He's like, you need to let yourself be sad about this. And it's understandable why you have this block. But he's like, but you need to overcome this block for you. Not for anybody else. Not for coaches. He's like, you gotta do it for yourself. Inspiration. Yeah. And then...
She goes, you know what? You're right. Because you told me to do it.
Yep.
I can do it.
Yep. So they like fall asleep. And then she's like... But she can't sleep, and it's like 1:30 in the morning, and she's like, Lucas, I need you to take me to the swimming facility. I want to go, and I want to try right now. Inward dive. And he takes her there, and they go. It's like 2:30 in the morning now, and she attempts one, and she kind of does it. It's not great, but she kind of does it. He's like, yeah, you were facing this way. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did it. So then he's like, okay.
Do it again.
And then he's like, okay. So they go into the locker room. Now I need to talk to you about something.
He's pregnant.
Whatever. He's like... I'm starting to suspect that you don't understand a single fucking thing, Scarlett. There's something like barely restrained fury in the icy pitch of his voice. Fear rolls into me, and I respond like a fine-tuned instrument. I'm already so wet, it's embarrassing. The hot imprint of his cock presses against my skin through his jeans. Remember what you asked me earlier? I don't, I choked out, then stopped, but it's fine because he doesn't really want an answer. I walked into your room and you looked at me and you said, his hand loosens. He had his hand around her mouth. His hand loosens and I take a big gulp of air. I don't know. I don't remember. You asked if I was there for a pity fuck. And I let it go because while you may think I'm mean, his thumb and index fingers find my nipple and pinch it, pushing hot liquid into my abdomen. I'm actually nice, Scarlett. And you weren't doing great. Now, though, he must have unzipped because I suddenly feel the scalding length of his cock on my lower back in the crease of my ass. Does this, he rolls his hips, feel like a pity fuck to you? No. His hand travels around my hip bone, then lower, softly tracing just outside of my cunt.
Oh!
Look at you. Soaked. I fucking love it. He sucks a kiss into my jaw, a scrape of teeth, and then, with an echoing sound, his other hand slaps the right side of my bottom. He goes, I don't fuck you because I pity you. Why do I fuck you, Scarlett? Slap. Because
I'm yours.
His teeth scrape against my jaw. Another slap. A kiss. Another slap. You don't know. So he's just like spanking me. And then his hand... Okay, a kiss, slap. You don't know, do you? His hand returns to my cunt. This time it parts me. Christ, she yells.
Parts me like Christ.
His hot cock throbs against my hip and I cannot help myself. Please, I beg. Please what? You could come just from this, couldn't you? From me playing with your nipples and your ass. You want to be roughed up, don't you? I nod frantically. He goes, not yet, sweetheart. Not until my cock is at least halfway inside you. Tell me why I fuck you, Scarlett. She goes, I don't know, whimpering. I whimper with tears flooding down my eyes. I'm going to hurt you just one more time. One more time, and then I'm going to get inside you, okay? Okay.
I'm going to hurt you.
It's the hardest yet, and I'm crying because of how good, how wrong, and how perfect it feels. And then he forces into her and fucks her, and he's like, I fuck you because you're the most perfect thing I've ever felt, Scarlett. Dang!
And now she's healed.
So Lucas leaves for 10 days to go to Sweden for swim meets. Or like all over, I guess, whatever.
Yeah.
Scarlett has a breakthrough in therapy. She's now doing inward dives. She's practicing. She's getting better. Things are on the up and up.
The coaches can shut the fuck up.
Uh-huh. She goes to a meet, and her and Penn are still doing synchro together, and they come in third. But she has not, in those 10 days, she's not hearing from Lucas. I think aside from like a couple texts.
Well, he's busy. He's traveling.
He's very busy. And she's not hearing from Lucas, and she's wondering what's going on. And then she hears Penn talking to like some of the other swim guys. And she finds out that Lucas has been back for a few days.
What
and then
the fuck?
Yeah, pissed. Dude, if I heard that...
I'm over this dude and his bullshit, his hot and cold.
Yeah, but then guess what?
You don't have to defend him to me.
He had to go to Seattle to interview for med school. And then he had to fly right to LA for another swim meet.
Oh, his phone's broke?
Oh, yeah.
I could get it if you're international.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, but
I could get it.
You're right. But then she goes, well, how does Penn all know this? Like, they're obviously talking. Penn knows all this.
Oh, so you're talking to this slut.
Uh-huh. She's like, why won't he talk to me? And she's thinking to herself, she's like, well, I really don't want to fuck up our sex arrangement, but also, like, I like this guy.
Did they ever say it was an arrangement?
They just filled out their papers
and
agreed to be in a consensual power exchange sex relationship.
I guess I didn't realize that excluded like we're dating.
They've definitely no, they were never like, oh, we're dating. It was never a dating thing.
Because it just seems like they care for each other.
Yeah,
and
it
are
does.
Dating.
But they're not dating. It is just
dating.
sex. But even though he's like, open up to me.
Yeah.
And cuddling her.
Yeah.
Anyway, her and Penn, then some more time goes by. Her and Penn become like best friends at this point. They're spending all their time together, hanging out, watching TV, going out to eat. They're like best friends now.
Are they talking about Lucas?
Not really. They're focused on their synchro and all that shit. And they're getting better and better, and they have more competitions, and they're kind of like killing it. And then a month goes by, and she still has not seen Lucas.
This is bullshit.
That's what I was saying.
This is just bullshit to me. I would be like, this is over.
Me too.
I'm so perfect for you, and you fuck me because it's so perfect. Well, that sucks. You missed out on it because you didn't talk to me for months at a time.
Paul, I was reading this, and I was like, a fucking month?
Insane.
A month? That's insane.
For no text.
Yeah. And then Thanksgiving rolls around, and she is like leaving, heading out to the airport, and Lucas is like walking towards her. And he's like, well, it's too bad you're leaving. Because her stepmom lives in St. Louis. So she's flying home to St. Louis. He's like, well, I guess it sucks that you're leaving. It's too bad. I wish you weren't leaving. And she's like, yeah, sorry, gotta go.
This is a fuckboy.
And then he goes, keep in touch if you want to.
This is a fuckboy that is like,
you know what it is?
At his convenience. He uses her at his convenience.
You find out at the end that that's not what's going on.
I don't care. That's what's going on.
So she starts off this stint of competitions that if she wins them, she could go to Amsterdam for like world diving competition. Diving for the world. And at one competition, she's in Tennessee now. She's been flying all over the country for these competitions, by the way. But she's in Tennessee. And some woman, another swimmer, kind of corners her and is like, you need to watch out for Penelope. She's a sociopath. I grew up with Penelope. And I believe
her.
I did too for a second.
I believe her. Penelope's being weird.
I know. I was like, what's going to happen here?
Penelope's been weird this whole time.
I literally, when I was reading that, I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So she was like, I grew up with her in New Jersey. Like, she's crazy. Don't, whatever, be her friend. And Scarlett is like, stands up to her. She's like, well, that's not been my experience. Like, she's one of my closest friends. I really like her. So I'm not going to just believe what you're saying to me.
You're fucking lost then, bro.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's good that she has a brain of her own and she's like, I'll, like, thanks for telling me, but, like, I'm not going to just believe you.
I would take that in immediately. That would be filed away.
Later that day, after competing, Penn and Scarlett are in the locker room, and this bitch corners Penelope and is, like, a total cunt to her, like, well, look what the fucking cat dragged in, blah, 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 being a bitch. And Penelope, like, immediately freezes and gets all sad and, like, starts crying and is like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And so she goes upstairs to the hotel room with Scarlett, and Scarlett's like, what's going on? And she's like, that girl's mom was the coach of us growing up, and she was abusive. She like wouldn't let us eat. She wouldn't blah, blah, blah. And I reported her one day, and she got really pissed that I reported her mom, and her mom got fired. So that's why I
need to check those facts as well.
And then Penelope is like, before Scarlett does her individual dive, she's like, oh, by the way, Lucas wanted me to give you this. And she gives her this, and it's a tie-dye like chamois that divers, when you dive, you have to be really super dry. So it's like it's a tie-dye chamois. And she's like, oh, one time, like months ago, I told Lucas that I used to have a good luck charm tie-dye chamois, but I lost it or whatever. And so he like,
no, I am so convinced that Penelope and Lucas are still together, and this is their fetish. Right? They're like, they get off on like toying with this girl. And,
that
like,
would be fucked
She
up.
watches them every time they've ever been together. It's like Penelope's in the closet watching, and then they like fuck afterwards. And
dude,
it's
that
like
would
she's
be
just
crazy.
like, I love that you're playing games with her. Like, I love that you use her, and she has no idea, and she thinks we're best friends now. That's what I think.
That would be so fucked up. So she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you remembered that I told him about this. And
yeah, what a thoughtful guy.
Then she does her individual dive, and she fucking nails it. And she does the N-word, and it's amazing. And she is going to world competition in Amsterdam. She flies home from Tennessee, and she's been back home for a couple hours, and she gets a knock at the door, and it's Lucas. And he's got like 2 bags of groceries, and he's like, I knew you wouldn't have any food when you got home, so I wanted to bring you groceries. And
I thought I would continue this very intermittent hot and cold, I care about you so much, or I don't give a fuck about you.
Busy.
You're making excuses. You're making excuses.
So he's also like, and I also brought you your favorite Chinese food. And she's like, oh my God. And so they're like on each other within 2 seconds. He's like kissing her and he lifts her up and like pins her against the door. And he's like, have I ever told you how fucking beautiful you are?
No, not a lot.
And she's
because
like,
you never talked to me.
But he has. One time when they were having sex.
One time.
One time. You told me I was beautiful one time. And she's like, yes, you've told me. He's like, good. Anyway, they have hot, sweet, hot sex. And then she's been like keeping tabs on him, like, because he's pretty famous. So she's like been reading about him on Wikipedia. She's been looking up like
not a good dynamic.
Swedish like traditions and words and stuff.
Oh my God.
Because she's totally fallen for him. But she doesn't tell him that. Anyway, so he tells her, he's like, well, I've been accepted into 2 med schools, one with a full ride. And she learned that there's like this Swedish thing where some Swedish term where you like don't celebrate yourself or something like that. And she's like, okay, I'm learning that this guy, he's not just stoic, because she thought he was just stoic and like nothing really fazed him. But she's like, he doesn't celebrate the fact that he isn't a 5-time Olympic gold medalist. Like he didn't celebrate, it's a huge deal that he got a full ride to one of these like really prestigious medical schools. And she's just like,
you should celebrate yourself. I've been learning about your culture because I like care about you so much, and I just think you should celebrate yourself. She's done for.
Well, he's
cooked.
Done for. He's cooked.
No.
We find out.
I bet we do. I bet he makes her think that he's just as bad.
Anyway, he is like,
what?
He's like, I'm going to Amsterdam too.
Yeah,
so
great.
They're going to go to Amsterdam together. Anyway, so they meet up for their research project like the next day or whatever. And she outshines everyone. She's like so fucking smart. And so after the research project, he like takes her hand and like brings her into a bathroom.
Yeah.
And he's like, it makes me so hard knowing how much smarter than me you are.
Oh, you're so smart. I just want to fuck you and use you because the fact that you're smarter than me threatens me, but the fact that I can control you in this space makes me feel like a man
Paul,
again.
That's not Lucas's vibe
man
at all.
Again.
People are gonna get pissed at you in the comments because you're wrong about Lucas.
That's fine.
But
I
then,
don't like
but
this
then in the
game
bathroom,
he's playing.
but then in the bathroom he does like make her come like 3 times, and he's like, "You are my toy."
So yes.
Okay, Christmas rolls around. He takes off to Sweden, and she takes off to St. Louis with her mom. But instead of ignoring each other like they have been for the past 4 months, they start texting each other photos. They're actually communicating this time and flirting and talking, and it's like,
so his other side piece must have broken off with him because she finally had to get off the roller coaster.
You're so jaded, Paul.
I'm not jaded. I just see what's going on, and I haven't been hypnotized by this fuckboy bullshit.
No, he's not a fuckboy.
He's clearly a fuckboy.
He's not. Anyway, so she's like loving that they're talking and sharing photos and stuff, and she wants to extend this beyond just a sexual thing, but she will not say it to him. She won't say it to him. I wouldn't
either because of all the mixed signals.
So then he texts her, and he's like, yeah, my brother's been talking about you to my family a lot. And she's like, they're gonna think
your brother has been?
Listen,
not you.
Paul, listen!
Not you, the dude I'm fucking, the dude that says I'm so beautiful, that says I'm perfect, but your brother is. Cool. Manipulative fucking games.
She goes, they're gonna think that we're dating. And he's like, well, why don't we just start dating then? And then she doesn't say anything back.
Yeah.
He just asked her.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he passive maybe said it might be something if she wants to make it her decision because he can't make any decisions because then he would have to own something he fucking did.
What's happening is he wants her so bad, but he wants her to say it first. That's what's happening.
Sure.
That's what we find out. Anyway, he's like, maybe we should just date. And then he's like, and then she doesn't say anything to that. And he's like, I want you with me next year in Melbourne for Olympic tryouts.
In
Melbourne.
Yeah.
In Melbourne. I don't know, Burn. In Melbourne.
Let's move past it.
For Olympic tryouts. And he's like, I want you by my side for that. And then she doesn't say anything to that either.
Yeah.
So.
Because this hot is not working. Oh, it's working on her, though. I don't know what you're talking about. It's working on her. It's working on you.
Okay, so now we're back on campus, and it's been a couple weeks, and Lucas and her are like fucking having sex again. And in the middle of it, he's like, I can't go this long without seeing you again. It's cruel. Like, please tell me you'll see me. And she looks at him and she's like, sometimes I wonder if this is the best I'll ever feel for the rest of my life. So they're saying this intimate shit to each other, but they're not just saying, okay, you're my boyfriend and you're my girlfriend.
Yeah.
They're both not fucking saying it.
Yeah.
So the next morning she wakes up and she hears him talking to his roommates. The one roommate was like, what's the deal, man? Like, you have Vandy upstairs? I thought you, like, what's going on? You're in some sort of weird love triangle with Penn and Vandy. And he's like, no,
Yeah.
Penn and I are broken up. We've been broken up for months. And then so Scarlett comes in and is like, hey, hi,
How y'all
you doing? The roommates are like, oh, hey, Vandy, blah, 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 blah. And then Lucas comes up to her and is like, good morning. And then just kisses her in front of them.
In front of everyone.
And she's like, so I guess we're not hiding anymore. So now, cut to, that happens. Now we're in Amsterdam.
Okay.
She flies over. He's there.
Red light district.
They finally get some alone time. And he's like fucking her in his hotel room. And he's like, please just move your stuff into this room with me. Like, we're going to be here for the next 10 days. Please just stay with me in this room. I can't be here knowing that you're not in this room with me. And she's like, why? Why do you want me in here?
Yeah.
And he goes, you know why?
No, I don't.
And she
you
goes,
man-child.
And she goes, I really don't.
I super actually don't.
Yeah, and then in the book, she's like, I say I don't because I don't.
Yeah. That's not a joke.
Uh-huh. She's like, I'm pretty sure this guy likes me. And it's like, well, no shit. He fucking told you he liked you.
No. He's been playing games this whole book.
Yeah, but he said,
Listen to yourself right now. Listen to yourself. But he said.
I know, Paul.
He said.
I know, Paul. Paul, this is Paul.
This book
No.
exposing things.
Yeah. Like how fucking stupid I am?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Is that
I'm scared for you
surprising
now.
to you, though?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm concerned.
Well, don't be.
Too late.
She goes, I really don't know why. And then he was like, listen, we're at a major competition right now. So we don't need to have this conversation right now. But if you want to, I'm ready to have this conversation with you. And I want you to move your stuff in here.
That's what he said?
That's what he said.
Yeah, because that's when they fucking get you. They say, are we at a really important part of your life where you should be focused on something like the competition that we're here for? And instead, I'm going to just drop.
Yeah, but he said, I don't. Yeah, but he said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Not what he's doing.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. She's like, fine, we don't have to have this conversation right now.
But now it'll just be creeping in the back of your head.
Yeah.
For the rest of this thing.
You know, I am learning things about myself too, Paul. Okay, so the next day, they're in the elevator coming down, and this, fine, huge Australian swimmer gets in.
Hello.
And he's, looking at Lucas and Scarlett. And, there's an exchange between them. The Australian guy looks at Scarlett and then looks at Lucas, and he's like...
You guys fucking?
Or he I can't remember exactly what he says, but he doesn't say this, obviously, because she's right there, but it was implied, can I have sex with you too? Kind of a thing. And Lucas is like, no, not this one. He says something, and then Lucas goes, no, not this one, blah, 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 blah. So Scarlett is like, what was that?
Yeah.
And so Lucas proceeds to tell her that him and Penn had their sex life was not good.
Yeah.
And so, a few years ago, Penelope was like, I'd like to start having threesomes.
Yeah.
And she was always in charge of who they had sex with. And
he was one of them.
He was one of them. And yeah, dude, I would let two fucking Olympic swimmer. I mean, my God.
Yeah, that's
Jesus.
Yeah.
Christ.
People
Anyway,
don't get that opportunity.
And so Scarlett is like, were you with men? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, you were? And he's like, yeah, I've been with men. So he's a bisexual king.
Fuck boys.
Fuck boy.
I mean, hot. Obviously, I want to see that go down.
Yes, me too. But then, once, 2 years ago, he asked Penelope if he could bring Scarlett for a threesome.
Oh, and that's why she knew that she was hot.
Uh-huh.
And that's why Penelope has been plotting this whole thing to bring her down.
But Scarlett had a boyfriend at the time, so Penelope and Lucas never asked her. And she's like, you wanted me 2 years ago? And he was like, yeah.
You wanted me when you had your girlfriend? I feel so special.
So her competition rolls around, and she doesn't do good. She gets a 9th overall. And she's
probably had some
pissed.
distracting her.
Yeah, she's distracted for sure. Well, also, this is world's competition, and she is competing against the best swimmers in the entire world.
And that's not her.
Her stepmom was like, you're the 9th best swimmer, diver, sorry. You're the 9th best diver in the entire world. You should be proud of yourself. And she's like, I'm not. I hate myself.
I would too.
Yep.
9th? What's the point?
What's the point? Not
Why'd
even
you even
3rd.
try?
Not even 4th.
Not even top 5.
Yeah. Top 10. Barely.
Barely.
And of course, Lucas won gold in like every single race that he got.
Yeah, I bet he did. He's
and people are like,
collected.
yeah, he's like being interviewed by all like ESPN and all this shit, and they're calling him like the swimmer of the century or whatever. And so later that night, they're in his hotel room and they're having a heart to heart, and she is like, I know I shouldn't say this, but I'd really like it if you and I went to med school together. I want to go to med school with you. He goes, well, I just wanted to let you know, like, the next year's Olympics are going to be, I'm retiring swimming after next year's Olympics. And I just want to go to med school and be with a girl and take her home to Sweden and blah, blah, blah.
A girl.
And he's like looking at her and he's like, say it. Tell me you like me. Like, say you want that too. And she just stays silent. She won't say it to him.
I wouldn't either.
I know
He's
you
a
wouldn't.
Slippery snake.
So she's kind of in shock that he's like saying he's gonna quit swimming, because she's like, you're retiring. You're like the next Michael Phelps. Like, why would you retire? And he's like,
well, how many Olympics do you go to?
Well, I think you can keep going for. She's like, you've got another 10 years of a career ahead of you. And he's like, I just don't want that.
Yeah,
he's only 22.
Who's gonna? Yeah, but if you're gonna be a doctor, you need to spend 10 years becoming a fucking doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's like, it's just not where my heart's at. I just don't want to do it forever. And she's like, okay. So whatever. They have that conversation. They fly back home, and there's a surprise party. They're like looking forward to like being alone in his house.
Yeah.
And there's a surprise party for him because he won. So
yeah, for him, not for her.
The whole thing. Yeah, not for her.
9th place doesn't get a surprise party.
And so later that night, Penelope is like, can I speak with Lucas alone, please? Like,
everyone leave.
Everyone
leave the party. Everyone get out of the house.
Lucas and Scarlett are up in his bedroom and like making out, and like Penelope walks in and she's like, sorry to interrupt, but can I speak with Lucas alone? And Lucas is like, Penelope, no, this can wait. I'm spending the night with Scarlett.
And this is when it comes out that they were together the whole time.
No. He's like, no, I don't. He's like, let's just talk tomorrow. I'm spending the night with Scarlett. I don't want Scarlett to leave. And Penelope's like, okay. And Scarlett's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. And she gets up and she leaves and she goes home.
I can step outside for a second.
No, well, she's fucking dramatic and leaves and goes home.
Well, I would do, I guess. Oh, your girlfriend's coming back?
The next day, Penelope meets up with Scarlett and is like, he broke up with me. The TA, he says I'm too young for him.
Oh, and that's why your bitch ass came around my man last night? Yep. Penelope is a trifling hoe.
So, Penelope is like, I feel like I made a mistake breaking up with Lucas.
I'm going to take my earrings off and fight you. That's
literally, I'd be like, you're dead.
Yeah, I'm turning my rings.
And she goes, and Penelope's like, what you and Lucas are doing, you're not dating, right? And Penelope's like, no, we're not dating.
You mean Scarlett's like.
Sorry. Scarlett. Thank you. Scarlett and Penelope are so like
dumb
similar.
name together. Yeah.
No, Penelope was like, I made a mistake, but you aren't dating, right? And she's like, well, no, we're not dating.
We're not dating, but I'll fucking.
Oh, I would murder
wreck
that bitch.
you,
yeah.
bitch.
So now Scarlett is feeling like she's lying to her best friend. She's like, I should have told Penn that I'm in love with Lucas. I lied to her.
Yeah, you did.
And now it's hurting me. It's hurting her. So she starts avoiding Lucas because she's like,
here we go.
I'm stuck in this love triangle. It feels like. She's like, so she just is avoiding Lucas. So Lucas goes to her place to confront her about why she's been pushing him away and pulling back. And he's like, just fucking say it, Scarlett. Just
your
say it.
girlfriend's
Just
back.
Tell me you like me. Just tell me you want me.
This is annoying.
And she won't. She won't say the words.
I hate both of them.
She goes, maybe it was frustrating.
I'm over it.
It was getting frustrating.
It's really
I was like, come on. She goes, maybe we should just keep our relationship more about sex stuff. And he gets pissed.
Yeah.
He gets so pissed. He's like, really? You want to keep our relationship about sex? You can't tell me how bad you love me or how bad you want me.
Can you?
All right.
Can you?
That's fair, Paul.
Yeah. I'm over it, game playing motherfucker.
So he's like, do you want to start now? And she's like, what? And he's like, you want this to just be physical, so why don't we just start now?
Why don't you go home?
And
Why don't you pack it up for the night, bud?
he's like pissed. She can tell he's like pissed. And he's like, reminds her, he was like, use your safe word if you need it. And she's like, okay. And then he punishes her for not being...
I thought you were going to say punches her.
Punishes her.
He knocks her up the fucking mouth.
For not being honest with him and just saying that she likes him. So he like... And what I mean by punishes is he puts her on the bed.
Yeah.
And is like teasing her.
Yeah.
And then he jerks off. And then he pulls away right before she's about to come. And then he jerks off on her back.
Yeah.
And then he takes his cum and uses it as lube and fucks her in the ass.
Yeah.
And that's her punishment for not...
Some of us would call that a Tuesday.
Yeah.
But yes.
God, I want a Tuesday like that.
I was like, that is... I mean, I guess not, no. Because it's like, I'm only coming once. I got things to do.
Yeah. Yeah, he came twice. And she came a bunch of times too.
Yeah, it sounds like all she does is come.
Yeah, it pretty much is. I mean, yeah. And then before he like pulls out and he's like, are you okay? Like, was that too much? And she was like, no. And then he like crouches down and like holds her hand and he's like, what are you so afraid of? Why can't you just say it? And she's like,
why can't you fucking just say it?
He just needs her to say it because
it's all about his needs.
I guess. I don't know, Paul. And so she's like, I'm scared of everything. But that's so funny. But it's true. I mean, I did write this note here. So I'm like, why does he need her to say it? Why can't he just tell it to her first?
Yeah. He's the one that has sent all the weird mixed signals of like hot, 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 ghost.
Yeah.
Hot ghost, hot ghost.
Yeah, but I mean,
he
when
needs her
in
to
those
say
times
it
when they weren't talking, she wasn't talking to him either. She wasn't texting him either. She wasn't reaching him out either.
At all.
They both would send each other like, hey, you know, like, or if she had a competition and she did well, he'd be like, good job today. And she'd be like, thank you. And she wouldn't continue the conversation. She didn't reach out to him either at all.
Whatever. He's still playing games.
Okay. So the next week, another swim meet comes up and Penelope comes in first. Her and Penelope come in first and they win gold for synchronized. And so they're all excited and shit. And then they do so well that they both are going to qualify for the NCAA championship, which is like a huge deal. So finally, after those few days have gone by, Lucas comes up to her and he's like, I just can't do it anymore. I tried to stay away from you.
Yeah.
And I tried to be mad at you, but I can't do it anymore. This is more than sex to me. I need you and I need you to let me tell you. Just let me say it to you. Please just let me say what I need to say to you.
How old are they? They're 22?
Uh-huh.
So their frontal lobes aren't even fully
No,
developed. And
they're
you can tell.
Yeah.
So...
And he's like, just let me tell you what I need to tell you. And she knows that it's, I love you. And she's like, no, please just don't say it. I can't hear you say it. Please. I need to talk to Penn about how we feel about each other before you tell me you love me. I want Penelope to know that you love me and I love you and that we're doing this for real.
Then he should say it now.
Well, she knows that he feels it.
No.
She just won't let him say, I love you. She's like, please just don't say those words to me.
Why?
I don't know, Paul. I don't know because I wouldn't have done that. I would have been like, fucking tell me you love me.
I would have never said Penelope's name again.
For sure.
Dead to me. Erased.
Penelope's dead to me.
I would never synchronize swim with her again.
So he's like, fine, but we are telling Penelope that we love each other and that, you know, because...
Are they openly talking like this? Where it's like, we're going to tell Penelope we love each other even though you won't let me say I love you?
Well, because when Penelope got broken up with, you know?
I do.
Like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I do. That old man.
Which, by the way, he was probably like 28. That is why she, you know, told Lucas that too, and has been kind of telling him over the past couple of weeks, like, I think we should get back together. And Lucas keeps being like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
We're not getting back together.
So much no on that for me, bro.
And he's been telling her that. He's like, in this conversation where he's like, just let me tell you I love you. And she's like, no, not until we tell Penelope. He's like, God, Penelope and her fucking delusions.
Yeah.
So it's like, he knows, you know, that she knows that they know that, whatever. Anyway. So then once and then in that same breath, like when he's like, please just let me tell you I love you, they make love with each other. They don't have power exchange.
Yeah.
And so that's when they're like, okay, now we're going to tell Penelope that we're for real. But when they're done, he's like putting his dick away. He gets a phone call and it's fucking Penelope. And she's hysterical.
Of course.
She's been tested positive for anabolic steroids in her, because they have to test.
Yeah.
And she's like, this has to be a false positive.
Been juicing?
So now she hasn't been. So she's
not
now,
what I
it's
heard.
all the attention is back on Penelope. Penelope's freaking out. Penelope's like, I can't be alone. And Scarlett's like, well, just come stay with me while we figure this out. Like, we'll figure this out. You can still compete in the NCAA. Like, don't freak out. Just stay with me. And she's like, I couldn't do that to you. Lucas, can I stay with you? And he says yes. He says yes.
Penelope. I'm so over her.
I can't believe he told her yes.
Yeah.
He should have been like, no, stay with Scarlett.
I would have been like, you can come stay with Scarlett and I because
Yeah.
we're together. We love each other. And now
Yep.
you know, and now it's out. And now let's deal with your fucking roids, bro.
So now they're like dealing with how they're going to handle this. They got to get her retested. It takes time, blah, blah, blah. Scarlett's like, let's just focus. Let's just keep the focus on Penelope right now. She's really freaking out and I need her and blah, blah, blah. I know. And he's like, fine. But once she gets retested, we're fucking telling her that you and I are in this together.
What if she gets retested and it's still positive?
She gets retested and it was a false positive. And so she gets to
Does
go
that
there.
even happen?
How would a false positive happen for steroids?
I don't know. It's like not a pregnancy, man.
I know, for sure. But either way, Penelope's been cock blocking them for like 4 days.
I think she did it on purpose.
Well, yeah, I think so too now. So, cut to here we are. We're at the NCAA competition. And Scarlett comes in first. She wins gold at
Wow.
the NCAA championship.
Wow, that's what happens when you don't have a man messing with your brain.
And she is like, she can't believe that happened.
I
It was
can't
her
either.
dream. It was her literal dream. And so she's like, comes out of the water, sees her score, and she's like about to break down. And so she runs into the hallway, and Lucas grabs her and scoops her up. And he's like, I'm so proud of you. I can't believe you came in first. I love you so much. And they're like making out with each other. And then like her teammates and Penelope see them making out with each other. And her teammates are like, what the fuck, Vandy? Why are you making out with Lucas?
Yeah.
And Lucas just
Penelope
looks at
goes,
Penelope.
No, how could you?
Lucas looks at Penelope and is like, fucking tell them, Penelope. Tell them, or I'm going to tell them right now.
I feel like you just told him.
Right. He's like, tell them. And then Penelope, like, looks at him and then looks at Vandy, Scarlett, and she's like, you stole my boyfriend and now you stole my fucking gold medal. To Scarlett.
I would swing on this bitch, dude. It would be on sight. Are you
Head
kidding?
in
Yeah,
goal.
yeah. I would be like, I'm about to lose the gold because I'm being locked up for murder. Because I'm so fucking sick of these people.
Right. So Scarlett's like wide-eyed. She's like, what are you talking about, Penelope?
And what's fucking Lucas doing?
Lucas says that to Penelope. He's like, what the fuck, Penelope? What are you talking about? We've been broken up for months.
Yeah.
You know me and Scarlett are together.
Yeah. I would have been like, you were fucking that TA behind my back.
Right. And other people. Scarlett is dumbfounded. Lucas is pissed. He's like, stop this right fucking now. Don't keep talking.
Yeah.
And then Penelope just keeps berating Scarlett. She's like, I can't believe you stole my fucking gold medal. You stole everything out from underneath me. And Scarlett's like, I can't believe what I'm hearing
jealous
right
bitch.
now. And Scarlett's like,
I knew they weren't best friends.
yeah. Scarlett runs out, and then Lucas.
Is Penelope blonde?
I don't know, but that's how I
She's
imagined
so
her.
blonde in
I
my
imagined
head.
her blonde.
She's
Maybe
so fucking blonde in my head.
She's a blonde in my
No,
head.
this is blonde girl activity
Yeah.
right here.
Uh-huh.
Brunettes would never.
Oh no, you know what?
No,
She has. Okay, sorry.
she's blonde.
Okay. Lucas runs after her, and he's like, please don't listen to anything she just said. Like, I'm in love with you. You're in love with me. I want to be with you. I want to do this. I want to be happy. I want to be happy with you. Please, let's just be happy together.
God, Penelope's gonna tell everyone that she's this kinky fucking sub freak, and that and that's what you get for trusting a blonde
for
bitch.
sure. And Scarlett is like, please stop talking. I just need time to process this, please. And so he's like, fine, but I just want you to know you've had me in the palm of your hand since the first day I met you, and I'm not going anywhere.
Enough with your
I
fucking
love
lines,
you.
dude.
So she flies home to St. Louis, and she's like trying to get her shit figured out. She's talking to her stepmom. Her stepmom's like, you've got this big Swedish man waiting for you. What are you doing?
Well, I can't trust your judgment in men, stepmom. You got with my abusive dad.
That's true. She her stepmom is a doctor, and that's the reason why Scarlett wanted to be a doctor. So she's like interning at her stepmom's place, and like she's there for 2 weeks in St. Louis.
Okay.
And then one day Penelope shows up,
No, that bitch can fucking
In
get
St.
off my
Louis.
property.
and Pen is like, I wanted to do a grand gesture. I'm sorry that I didn't text you and tell you I was coming here, but I thought with the abysmal way I treated you, it had to be me coming here.
It's on site. I'm fucking running up
Yeah.
on you. If you are coming down my driveway, I'm meeting you
No
halfway.
forgiveness for you.
No, are you
But
kidding
Penn
me?
is-
That was the dirtiest,
I know.
shadiest shit for
Ever.
no
For no
reason. For no
reason.
reason. They weren't fighting.
Well, Penn goes, I am mortified by how I treated you. I can't believe I said that stuff to you. She
You
goes,
need to be committed.
She's like, he wasn't mine. He was never mine for you to take. The gold medal was never mine for you to take. You didn't take anything
Yeah, you
from me.
talentless hack.
I'm sorry for. She's like, I can't believe I treated you that way. Blah blah blah. She's all sad. You know,
I don't
she's
trust this for a
apologizing.
second.
I know. I would have been like, fuck you.
She wants me just to
Scarlett's
come
like,
in for a hug so she can stab me with an actual knife.
yeah,
That's what I
she
would
does
think.
like reach for Scarlett,
No!
and Scarlett does pull away.
I would.
Yeah. Scarlett's like, well, thank you. You know, thank you for telling me this, but I appreciate you coming out here and telling me that. Whatever. She's just like,
I don't.
listening to her, you know. And in that moment, she's like, you know what? I need to make a grand gesture of my own.
To what, Lucas?
To Lucas.
Lucas should have been on the next fucking flight out, following you, chasing you down.
So Lucas went to Sweden.
Seems like that's all he does when the shit gets going.
So she's like, Barb, to her stepmom. She's like, I need your money. I'm going to buy a
Barb, I
ticket.
need your credit card.
I need your credit card, Barb. I'm going to Sweden. And she's like, fuck yeah, you can have my credit card. She's like, thanks. And so
She doesn't have her own money being like a college athlete. No, because they don't pay him anything.
I was gonna say. And so she texts Lucas's brother Jan and is like, I'm coming to see him. Please help me, like pick me up at the airport. I'm making this grand gesture. I'm gonna confess my love to him when I get there. And Jan's like, okay, great.
Jan's
Picks
like,
her
he's
up.
already married.
Yeah, he's already
He's
married.
got his main fiance he's been had this whole time that you didn't know about. They finally tied the knot.
So they pull up and Lucas is standing outside. And she's like, you told him I was coming? And Jan's like, no, I didn't tell him.
He's like, I could just sense that you were coming.
So she goes up there and she's like, how did you know I was coming? Did
goes,
Penn tell you?
Didn't. I was just coming outside.
I
People
was just
people are allowed to
standing
go outside
here.
of their house.
He goes, you never stopped sharing your location with me.
And you never stopped watching, you fucking creep?
She goes, I know that, but still, you'd have to have checked where I was. He goes, I can't sleep unless I know where you are. His shrug is delighted, unapologetic. And during the day, I just feel better keeping tabs. Control, you know me.
None of this is healthy. None of this is fucking
He goes, I'd say
chill.
sorry, but you'd probably just need to get used to the way I am.
And then she gets into an abusive relationship,
No.
just like her mother was, and the cycle fucking continues.
No, she's just like, so you just know everything. Not everything, he pulls back. Even the blue of his eyes is more vivid. I know that you came here to see me, even though I did briefly wonder if you were just in the mood for a...
Schmangle.
Yeah, Dammershirter, some fucking Swedish thing. I can only imagine the rest, that you're scared, for instance. I'm petrified, more like it, I whisper. Another tear streaks down my chin. This is so messy. Falling in love? I nod. And I did it so deeply, desperately, fast. It's just pure violence. The ultimate loss of control, isn't it? I breathe deeply. But
This
we've
is an
done...
abusive
He goes, but we've
relationship.
done this before, he points out. Patient, almost detached. You've given up control. You've trusted me to take over. And you never took advantage. Nor will I. He drums his fingers on his bicep. I assume you want us to be together. I nod again. That's going to require some discussions. I have to make plans for my future. You have to make plans for yours. So why don't we just do that together, okay? So they just profess their love,
Yeah.
you know. And in the epilogue,
Okay.
it's 2 years later.
It's a court case. Lucas is in a prison
It's a
jumper.
court case.
And she's
Yeah,
dead.
but it's a power exchange, and they're to me they're exchanging power outside of the bedroom as well.
Yeah, I think this is a very romanticized, abusive, like bad relationship. Is what just happened. That like someone fell into in college.
God,
and then
I
they-
fell into it.
I know.
I fall into it over and over again.
Dude, what's the epilogue though?
The epilogue is them. It's a little weird. I've never seen an epilogue like this, but it's like bits and pieces of shit that happens over the next couple years. We find out that she did go to the Olympics. She did win silver in the Olympics. He
Couldn't
becomes
even
a
give her
doctor.
gold.
They live together now, and they're like doing residency, and they're like super busy, but they're in love with each other, and yeah, happily ever after.
I don't think so.
It's an HEA.
There's definitely not. I don't think happily ever happen.
Happily
I don't think
ever
happily ever happen, dude. I'm telling you, that was red flags, red flags.
Well, maybe if you had read it, I mean, maybe I didn't do a good job of explaining it.
Maybe we just came away from it with two
Maybe we
different
did, actually.
understandings.
You know what? And
you
that's
know?
okay.
I think it is okay.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna.
He
break
loves her.
heart.
She's the one with all the
No,
control.
I think he's addicted to the rise and the falls.
The rise and the falls.
The big peaks and
Well,
valleys.
I think she might be too.
Yeah, and I think that's a recipe for a volatile relationship. And one that is not sustainable.
So you don't think they'll make it?
No, I don't think they'll make it. I
Or
think
you don't think she'll make it?
No, I think that there's going to be a messy Grey's Anatomy style. We both work at the same hospital and start cheating on each other and have explosive fights in operating.
Oh, there's definitely going to be
rooms.
drama.
Yeah, like I don't think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I think this is a nightmare. But what?
I loved it.
I thought it was a fun
It was
story.
fun.
I had a
Did
good
you?
time. This was fun. This
It
was
was-
smut.
Oh,
Finally,
for
we
sure, yeah.
talked about the smut,
For sure. Big
which
time.
I'm so into.
Oh, dude. The scene where he's like pissed at her and then he comes on her back and then fucks
Yeah.
her ass. That was like my favorite
I'm like, these
one.
are all like things that are like believable, like you want to happen, you want to see happen.
Yeah.
The smut was great.
The smut was
I
great.
just think from a sociological kind of relationship point of view,
Not
that's
healthy.
not good.
Not
That
healthy.
didn't come out good.
I wanted to bring up since we've had some non-smutty books.
Oh yeah, thank
You know,
God. I was
yeah,
ready
yeah,
for
yeah.
something fucking
Practice makes perfect or whatever. And yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And that's fucking Shadows Between Us.
Yeah, no smut. This was like good smut.
Well, I want to get into something fucking dark.
I mean, you've been teasing me forever
Yeah.
that you're like, oh, I've entered into
Well,
a
because
darker
I read-
level of
well,
dark.
for-
Dark.
I read dark
Yeah,
romance.
double dip, dark
Um,
chocolate.
Pitch Black.
Pitch Black. Love that movie.
But I don't ever want to talk about it on the podcast because I'm like, this is going to fucking scare people off. But
I like that.
having said that, I do next week want to get into something it's not Pitch Black or anything like that. I want to get into a taboo romance that's going to make
Yes.
you fucking feel something.
Okay, yeah. I want to feel a little, you
Weird.
know, uncomfortable.
And I don't
unnerved.
well, and the thing is, Paul, is that when I choose these books, I don't know how they're going to turn out.
Yeah.
So although
100%.
I've heard this as a taboo book, I don't know how taboo.
Yeah. Hit me with that title. Let me guess next week's book.
It is called Bad Wrong Things. You got to get filthy with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I am. I'm trying to and you like taboo?
Uh-huh.
Taboo. I got it. I think that Bad Wrong Things is going to be about a late 20s, 28, 29,
Okay.
woman,
Okay.
and it's going to be somewhere cold. Boston.
Okay.
Kind of coastal cold,
Yeah.
you know? Ugh.
It gets into your bones.
Gets into your bones. She is going to have been, you know, a corporate girly,
Okay.
you know. She's worked at like a mid-sized company, worked her way up. She just like graduated college. She didn't really like she grew up in Boston. She just got a job. It's always just been like her dad and her three sisters. Her mom died when they were like teenagers. Her sisters are all like 2 or 3 years above and below. She's in the middle. And they like the older sister got married, moved like across the country, lives with her husband in like California somewhere, just like a housewife. And then the younger one is wild traveling, like whatever. And then she just stayed
Okay.
and, you know, got a degree in some throwaway degree. Communications, like I did. And just got some like mid-level job working at some corporate company. And she did that like all through college. And then she like had the same boyfriend, not from high school. They knew each other in high school. He went away to college. She came back. They reconnected. They were getting pretty serious. And then he died.
Ooh, shit.
And she just like went hollow,
Okay.
you know? And you'll like find out throughout the book, it's like she feels guilty because she doesn't even care that he died.
Oh, okay.
That like everything in her life has just been the thing that was handed to her that just happened. She didn't choose anything. Her career, her job, her life. This was not a life she chose. It's just the life that she has. And then this is like happened. It's maybe like 6 months after he's died, and everyone's just like, okay, like I guess she's good. She never had like a big reaction. And then she just freaks out at work one day. Next level.
Okay.
Full.
Menti B.
Menti B.
Okay.
Menti B. It spirals bad to where it's like she's not bouncing back.
Uh-oh.
So she like they don't know what else to do with her, so she gets committed.
Oh.
And she's like in a
institution.
And she's just like still nothing. There's just nothing.
Okay.
She's got nothing. And that's like all her therapy sessions are nothing. She can't feel anything. And they're just like, what's going, like obviously volatile, but like it's zero to like nothing to fucking volatile crazy, lashing out. And she has no control over it. She like kind of blacks out when it happens. It's just like whatever it is. So then she just is going to start a diary, and she's just writing. That's like what she does. She writes in her diary. And then, one day fucking a new fresh out of med school therapist transfers in. He's like kind of doing his like
hot
time where you have to just like work before to get your hours and shit in. And he comes in and like he just is a little like puzzled by her, because he's just like, I don't understand, like your file is full of all of these like random outbursts, these for just like extreme violence, like whatever, but none of your history, like none of the stuff makes sense. Like none of this really adds up to like what would have gotten you here. So then he starts like working with her one-on-one. He's taken an interest in her, and at first it's very professional. Of course it is. And then he finds her diary one day, and it all starts to like come together.
Okay.
And it's like she writes about all this like dark shit that's happened to her in her life.
Okay.
Like it turns out maybe, she didn't have the quiet upbringing that you think she's had.
Okay.
Like maybe there was abuse in the home, outside of the home. Maybe she witnessed things that a child shouldn't see. Problems with her parents. Like her mother's death maybe isn't as straightforward as we think it is.
Okay.
So all of these are mixed in her diary, but throughout the diary are also these graphically sexual fantasies. Like just like scenarios, and sometimes it's her, sometimes it's other people, and it's just like and he's like reading them.
Does
and
he use it to manipulate her? Hard.
Turned on from it. And he's like being like, oh my God, what is this about?
For sure.
Because I should not be at all.
Yeah.
And then one day she's gonna catch him reading her diary, and she has a fucking freak out.
But then he pins her down.
Well, it's like, kind of.
Yeah.
And then like, so this like freak out where like she's coming at him like, I'm going to kill you. And he like fights her off. And then in this wrestle, they have like a panting moment.
Yep.
And then make out.
Fucking,
Hard. And then poof. Away, And then she's going to like be like, what the fuck? Because now she, for the first time, is in her lucid state, feels something. She's like, whoa. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And she's going to realize what page he was reading.
Okay.
And it's going to be like one of her most recent like fantasy sex dreams. And then you start to learn that like she almost like goes into a trance when she writes in her diary. And it's almost like this, like she has just separated herself so much that like at some point in her life, she realized that she wasn't going to get what she wanted. So she severed the part that wants things off and just became this hollow person that does what they're told. And that's like really her issue, is that these like she's created a beast. Her shadow has become a beast, and now he's obsessed with it because he like sees this like gentle person that she is, but also sees this like monster inside. And he's infatuated with it.
I love that.
Turned on by it.
Fuck yeah.
And it's just going to be like kind of a slow burn, but not that slow, because it's going to be she is gonna be very up and down about she pursues him, she plays with him, she like fucks with his head, and he's a mess because he's in the palm of her hand. She's got him because he's just like horned up, in love / like intrigued, like from a mental fucking academic thing, like what is this person that has severed themselves into to such a degree, but still like I don't know, he's like so turned on. So then it's just going to be the whole book of her in this fucking institution trying to get better. He's going to get caught obviously at some point. He's going to get in a bunch of trouble. And then it's going to really just play on like, I guess, denying yourself and the dangers of that, what it can create if you're that dishonest with yourself.
Interesting.
And then it's also going to play on like when you're in these, you have these power dynamics of someone that's supposed to be a caretaker and take care of you, but like things get messy. Like,
I would read that.
You know,
I would love that.
So I don't really know how it ends.
That's okay.
You know,
that's all right. No, I love that. That's
I feel like he's going to end up like his world will have end up ruined. Because this.
Well, he's going to not be able to get his license.
Yeah, he's not he's going to have to change his whole career path and everything after it all comes out. And then when she gets out, like she's clearly still has a lot of like healing to do, but like, is it better for them to reconnect?
Oh yeah, and they do.
I feel like that's what's going to happen.
In my mind,
is they're going to like reconnect in the real world, but they will
do.
have gone through this whole tumultuous thing that fucking ruined his life.
They woke
her up and helped her like, you know, realize this. So it's like she's coming out of this better in a sense, not as good, air quotes, as you could say she was doing before her mentee B, but definitely in a more honest, truthful, full life.
Yeah.
And he is now having to pick up the pieces and he has to struggle with, was it worth it? And that is what I think
bad wrong things
bad wrong things are about. And that's what she'll write. That's going to be the title of her diary.
Love that.
Is bad wrong things, because that's where she writes all the bad wrong things.
Well, we'll see.
And those are the things he falls in love with. Okay. And that's what I think it's going to be about.
All right, we'll see. Well, thanks for listening for a couple hours.
No problem.
Hope you had a good time.
I did. Now we have to watch the Abracadabra video.
Yeah, we'll watch that.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
We are. All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye.